Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Peppers Echo Show. My name is Andre, and it is good to see all you wonderful, wonderful, absolutely fantastic people out there. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was just trying to put some content together, some videos, so I'm like pulling it all over the place, and I was at the bank a little bit long today. But let me greet you all today as we say hello to Buzzy. Hello, Buzzy. Always good for reminding me and keeping me on my toes. Dylan Combrink, how are you keeping? Always good. Dylan, looking forward to the stream. Yeah. I have a secret to let you know. I'm busting secret agents today. Hi, everyone. Cameron, and I'm not too sure your birthday is either coming or tomorrow or on the 21st. I'm not quite 100% sure, but a very, very happy birthday, Cameron. Where is everyone? Hope Andre's keeping well. Yes, I've had a good week. So far, so good. It's pity Sunday comes so quickly. Sunday night, it's here already, 8:10. So happy birthday, Cameron. Dylan said hello, Dylan. Buzzy, Cameron, Buzzy, Dylan, Cameron, Debbie Murray. How are you keeping? Indeed. I have that one on as well for us. How do I do that? I do a sharing the screen. I'm going to do it some other way. I don't know how to get this thing done like that. There we go. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Let me put it like that. Oh, geez. Now I'm going to crawl around this side. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Let me just hide this thing over here. There we go. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well, Debbie, for tomorrow. I left it up there as well. So, Buzzy, Cameron, Debbie, Nick Miller. How's it going, Nick? Always good to see you, my friend. Really, really a nice thing. My wife, no more swearing. Yeah, we got to keep the jokes clean. ED, erectile dysfunction. I don't know what ED is. Where are you going with that? Sorry, am I talking about your bedroom things there? Oh, gee. Buzzy, Nick, Cameron, right. What a Saturday waiting. I was sat waiting 2 minutes before I realized Andre starts. Sorry, man. I know I've kept you waiting, but I was trying to get some stuff going. Without ado, let me just go a little bit forward as well. What we have got in the news of late is our very, very own. Oh, geez, let me put myself across there quickly. I think Chris has already, and I think Renaldo has already spoken about this, but our very own ambassador to the US, what a tool. Ibrahim Rasool, South Africa's ambassador to the United States, was expelled from the United States given 72 hours. The expulsion was announced by the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, on Friday. Rasool's expulsion stemmed from the comments he made during a webinar hosted by Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection. In his comment, Rasool allegedly accused Trump administration of supremacism. I think he went as far as calling them a white supremacist. I do stand corrected, however. And then the U.S. declared Rasool persona non grata, meaning he is no longer welcome in the U.S. So South Africa's government expressed, how's this for another tool of a government, expressed regret over the decision, calling it unprecedented and not following normal diplomatic channels. He's bloody lucky they gave him 72 hours. They should have just tossed him out on his ass. Ibrahim Rasool is a tool. Yeah, it rhymes. Yeah, you got it, Cam. You found new rhymes by Cameron's catalog. Yeah, booted from the face, US face. Yeah, there we go. The South African government, but they are also a bunch of idiots. They arranging for his return and debriefing. They should be firing him for being such an idiot and bringing the country's name into disrepute. They are planning to appoint a replacement. So I'm waiting to see if they're going to put Trevor Noah in there or something like that. He's just such a racist. The South African government emphasized its desire to maintain mutually respect and beneficial relations with the US. I'm afraid that they do not have any form of respect for the US the way that they were going. They were worse than a bunch of school kids that have absolutely zero respect the way they are shouting out insults to the US. That the US is actually still tolerating that is also quite amazing, that they're being so tolerant with South Africa. South Africa's International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola criticized the use of Twitter diplomacy and called for face-to-face engagement to address concerns between the two countries. You can never sit down with these idiots. You can never sit down with them because, I mean, really, yeah. But here is what you've been waiting for. No Dead Down Under. Our favorite Voortsacker is blamed. And we discover one of your favorite YouTubers is James Bond. I don't know if you've seen this because I haven't been on the lines and everything. And this is from 4 months ago. But I actually just picked it up and I was a little cheesed off at another tool's description of what is going on here. I actually think Renaldo was really, really good. If you're wanting to see the full video, because I've clipped this down to 5 minutes. So if you actually want to see this full video, in the comments downstairs, I just didn't have the time to put the full link. I will be putting the full link in there as soon as this video is finished. I will latch the full link in there so that no one can say I didn't leave anything in for context. I just didn't want to sit with a 20-minute video or 18-minute video trying to comment on it because it is going to take us a little bit of time to comment on this. But let's see how we can go along. We all know this. Tell me if you can hear it at least.
Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
Can you hear that? Yeah, it tells you who the idiot is scammed. Poor Fiona. Yeah, living live. Who's the deadbeat? Australia Hagler. Yeah. Well, listen to this. I don't know. I don't know if you guys picked it up. I don't know if Renaldo has spoken about this or anything to that effect because as I said, I was not too hectically watching videos and that, but I just came across this one and it's 4 months old already, so you might have already seen this, but wait for the end, guys.
Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
Oh, crumbs. You're going to have to hear that again. I can't pause this bloody thing.
And yes, I have a funny mask on, but because according to Renaldo Gouws, I'm dead. I've passed away. Well, you know, I'm going to show you exactly what took place.
Okay, unfortunately, I have cut it, but you will see where I've cut. There's actually a block moving. So if you want to watch the whole thing straight afterwards, I will put it in there. But I've just actually got to the main things, yeah. But yeah.
Transpired in the last couple of days on his YouTube channel, where in the past he has questioned my integrity and covering fake news. Well, I'm obviously a ghost, okay? It can't be Scott Bolson, can it? Because I'm dead. Well, Renaldo Gouws, let's start off with your clip.
Okay, now I haven't done that clip, okay, because we've all seen the clip where Renaldo actually changed I think it was a Twitter tweet, and sent it off to Scott under a different email. And without fact checking, Scott just reported on it. So he's still sore and upset about the time Renaldo took him out for having fake news. So he showed that part. I didn't put that clip in because everyone's seen it.
Which I will link below, which shows how you used devious means, including falsifying an email, to try and create a trap for me. This is the integrity of Renaldo.
Okay, and also he's said that he's nearly blind, he doesn't have sight, somebody's had to help him with the video, and he has a very bad skin disease, which is why he's wearing gloves.
Gouws. Okay? What happened in the last couple of days is that the rumor was put out there on the internet that I had passed away. Okay? I'm dead. And you'll notice also in the side chat that all these Renaldo Gouws, what do we call them? Cultists. Yeah, they're part of the cult.
Okay, he didn't put that thing in there, but I thought I'd take a group photo of you guys and put it in there as well, because I don't know what you want to call Pepper's echo, ghosts, echoes, whatever. You thought the guy, Cameron, yeah, I also thought it was part of the clown outfit, but apparently it's skin.
Renaldo Gouws cult. And I'm saying that because when Loving Life was going, Renaldo Gouws called it a cult. And you'll see in the side chat how all these regulars, it's like, oh, you know, so what? It's only Scott Bolson. Don't forget to get your pizza at 5 cents extra or cheaper here or whatever it might be. Don't forget to be an e-beggar. Da 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 da. I'm talking about groups like Morning Shop. Talking about groups like, of course, Chris Wyatt.
Guys, you still want to wait for the end. And he's serious. He is serious.
Well, let's listen to his pronunciation that apparently, according to what was said in the side chat, I've passed away.
Okay, now this is just going to prove to you, you know, he's just actually proved that Renaldo is actually the better man. If you take a look at Renaldo's manners, Renaldo's comments, his reluctance to comment any further, and how he has treated the situation, I think was full of integrity and great respect. But obviously this guy pulls it out of tune again.
By the way, breaking news in case you haven't heard, Scott Bolson, aka Loving Life, according to Byron from Morning Shot.
Okay, if you take a look at the chat there, where was it? No, it's not on here. But if you're watching the whole video, which is down here as well, because he first leaves the whole video to run about all kinds of things, and then it gets to this, I cut it. But on the side, somebody said, by the way, Chris Bolson has passed away. So Renaldo mentions it out of respect. But listen how respectfully he treats the situation.
Passed away. I wasn't aware of that.
Which he notes. I was not aware of that. So, you know what? He's not going to fact check it right now. He has been informed by somebody, and he states, I was not aware.
And this is where the feud ends. As soon as somebody passes away, all ill, not wishes, but all ill intent, or not, that's also strong. All negative emotions go out the window. So rest in peace, Scott Bolson. You contributed when you started your channel and when you were really interested to talk about South Africa and the problems that South Africans were facing. And then obviously I think you lost the plot a little bit down the road and you became obsessed with other content creators. However, I still believe that your intentions when you started were true and well-intentioned. So rest in peace, and my thoughts go out to your family. And the feud is done. No more negativity about Loving Life. It would be an absolute dick move. So yeah.
Okay. And he didn't say anything more thereafter. He didn't. There was also nothing more in the chat, nothing facetious. The only thing that is facetious is what Bolson has to say now.
Okay, now, in the link below, you'll see that Renaldo Gouws, when he's attacking me and saying that
Attacking me. Renaldo at no time attacked him whatsoever. He was actually very respectful. He gave him credit. He even gave him credit for his intentions, how he started off, and was very amicable, I would say. Wouldn't you? I think that is the mark, because he carries on about how he was tossed out and how the DA did a good job and all of this type of thing, which I've cut out as well. But I just want to show you the facetiousness, the blindness. He's not only physically going blind, but he's mentally blind as well, if you're looking at this. I'm sorry to say that.
I'm putting out fake news. He says, this guy didn't even bother to go and check his sources.
Okay, he didn't, because somebody mentioned it to him in the chat, and he states straight up, I didn't know that. And then he says, well, you know what, my condolences and that. It's like somebody meeting you on the street and says, did you know that so-and-so passed away? You don't go, well, you know what, I'll get back to you as soon as I've done my fact checks. You know, and let me go and see the newspaper and go and find the internet and then get back to the guy. You immediately pass your condolences. And as I said, with great respect, Renaldo did it. And he gave him credit after everything as well. So where does this guy come from?
Well, some idiot says, I've passed away, and bang, bang, bang. Renaldo Gouws accepts that news and says, well, you know, I'm not going to attack this arsehole anymore because...
He didn't say arsehole. He was actually very respectful to you. He said you had good intentions and there is no more feud. The hatchet is buried. You cannot go on. He even said to be able to insult somebody would be a dick move.
He's dead and I don't do that sort of shit. That's the sympathy. That's the kind of closing statement of loving life, according to Renaldo Gouws. I am not dead. Yes, visually, I can't see as well as I could. When it comes to my skin, yes, I've been having horrible problems. And yet these assholes, I'm talking about Chris Wyatt, Renaldo Gouws, not so much Morning Shot, but...
He is absolutely facetious. Even old Chris gets pulled over the coals. But that's not the best one yet. Apart from the fact that he's absolutely disrespectful, facetious, and I do not believe that from somebody who's supposed to be of the caliber and stature that he is, to be able to, especially after seeing, yeah, but wait for it. Wait for this part, guys. Wait for this part. Yeah, you're going to kill yourself at this. This is the best. You did not know that 007 exists on our YouTube channel.
When they learned that I was unwell, this is Chris Wyatt and Renaldo Gouws, they were celebrating that fact.
Where did you see any one of them celebrating? There wasn't even, and you can go and watch that video further, there was no one who actually celebrated. Chris never said anything. He didn't even have a statement to say. Renaldo was damn respectful about it. This is absolute lunacy. And you know what? I know Renaldo's probably got better integrity than to sit and waste his time with this chap. But I can actually waste my time on this guy. This is an absolute mime on himself, because really nobody celebrated it. He'd like it to be like that. I think in his mind's eye, he fictitiously builds that up, because once again he's proved himself wrong and he's delivering fake news. You want to see the best fake news come out here without fact check? Watch this.
They were saying, yes, yes.
No, watch this. Watch this.
Not nice people.
Guys, hold on to your G-string.
Chris Wyatt, let's remember, he is actually an undercover Central Intelligence Agency operative. That's what...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let me try and bring it back again.
An undercover
Wait. Some more.
And Chris Wyatt, let's remember, he is actually an undercover Central Intelligence Agency operative. That's what he is. That's who he is. And I'm hoping,
Listen to
I'm
this.
really hoping that Donald Trump, who's going to be cleaning out the CIA and the FBI, now that he's coming into power, will actually turf out the trash. And I'm talking about a certain Colonel Chris Wyatt.
Well, this is as much as I've got for you guys. I couldn't take it anymore after this one. We have 007. Let's break this one down for you. Top secret information, codename Colonel. Mission: infiltrate South African YouTube community. Clearly a matter of national security. Secret weapon: the ability to blend in with other drama-loving content creators. The idea of the CIA caring about YouTube feuds is about as likely as Scott actually being a ghost. So now we don't have to worry about and think about who the shadow in the dark is. The shadow in the dark is codename Colonel. I'm not going to say it because just now it comes out and it says I said it. I'm not naming a name. I just, you know what? I didn't believe it until I saw how serious this guy was. At first I thought, you know what? No, he must be joking. He was dead serious. Oh my goodness me. So yeah, license to thrill, Colonel Chris. But yeah, what an idiot. Because Chris has been, you know what, he's straight up and he's hard with the news and he runs. He has had so much experience. Yes, he has been in intelligence, retired. He does consulting now, and they use his intelligence because he's consulting, but he consults more through the military and that type of stuff anyway. Yeah. And the news is practically the only person who can give a damn straight news report. Currently, the only person at the moment on the face of this earth in the world that is given true answers and direction on the South African refugee program for the United States, or the Afrikaner refugee, or whatever you want to call it. If you go to Colonel Chris Wyatt's YouTube channel, you will find a specific section, and it's well over 30 videos now, which he consistently keeps up to date on the South African refugee. And he's the only one that has spot on information consistently. Every now and then, this bunch of idiots, mainstream media and that, is bringing out absolute bullshit. I mean, mainstream media is like a, what do they call it? A neutron or a whatever, because why? They made up of everything. They make up everything. That's what they do. So yeah, you know what? I know these guys are actually too good to actually sit and worry about dealing with small fry like this. So small fry like me pick up small fry like this. And you know what? There's few enough people that actually come up for Renaldo, and he just gets trashed left, right, and center. And if you take a look at these two gentlemen, they have absolute respect and absolute dignity. And if you take a look at that video yourself, you will find that Renaldo has actually proved Bolson wrong. He actually proved himself wrong by actually showing the video. Renaldo did great. Respect. He gave him credit. He was decent about it. The cultists, as Bolson refers to them, were decent. They didn't say any bad words in the chat. What a bunch of... Well, I don't want to say bunch. He is an idiot by himself. I don't know who's his cult followers or whatever, but yeah, if he still has, because I don't see very much of it. I just actually, you know what, I've got so many news channels and things that I'm actually subscribed to, that I'm actually flying through these things. I'm doing a lot more looking up on the Trump situation. because it does worry me. I'm very chuffed that Trump's in, and I think he's going hard. He's making decisions that even make me cringe at the moment, but I suppose that's why he's successful. Everybody else is too afraid, even in business. This is why you can see he's probably not probably, he is a damn good businessman, because he makes the long shot call. He's not making a short-sighted call. And yes, you're going to have to chew a bean or two across there, but if you hold the rein, I'm sure you are going to see the success that is reaped from it. And you know what? Even the normal man in the street isn't willing to make that type of call because he doesn't have the guts to pull it. And Trump's going, you know what? Everybody laugh, but watch when we are prosperous. Everybody's manufacturing in the US, when everyone's coming into the US, when everyone's investing in the US, because suddenly it becomes prosperous and it's beneficial. Hey, I don't think that the US and China should be at loggerheads, because I think two superpowers should actually support each other and not wipe out the rest of the world. But yeah, if you take a look at the EU and Europe and everything wanting to back South Africa, I just don't see where the wakeness comes in with that, because that's absolute bullshit. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, let me give a little bit of a rip in there. Don't hold back, Nick. What did Nick say that everyone's going to laugh at there? Dylan, I slipped his mind, release what retired meant. Yeah, I slipped his mind. Skis. What did Nick say? I'm trying to get up there. But yeah, I just haven't. He thought he was what, Nick? He thought that was what it meant. Yeah. So yes, you know what? I'm not a big channel. I don't have a lot of big politics and things to that effect, but I do have the time for people who've had the time for me. Especially, you know what? I am small fry. Those guys can turn up their nose at me anytime they want to. They don't have to. Chris Wyatt doesn't need to even pop into my show. I mean, why the hell would he pop into something that's as small as this? Renaldo doesn't have to, although they are decent enough to do so. And talking politics, I have seen very many angry people. I've seen Chris jumping up and down because people are nagging on the same question every time, over and over and over. He couldn't get to his news because he's having to repeat himself so many times. And then I watched Renaldo getting a little bit excited on some of his videos. And then I went over to Brickmarker, and O'Clain was busy hammering on somebody on his side. And I thought, politics is quite a hard thing. I'm pleased I'm not doing politics. But yeah, so I actually picked up this little slug scratching in the mud. I wasn't too sure if it had been picked up before, but yeah. What's it? 100% agree with the support. Why better fighting gets nobody anywhere. Yeah. I would like them to support each other because you know what? They are different. Unfortunately, so they are hard businessmen. As Trump is a hard businessman, he wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. I mean, whether people like it or not, he's successful. You know what? China is communist. It runs and it works for them. The West does not equal the East. The East does not equal the West. They're two different countries, but they're two superpowers. If they build together, but yeah, the one's trying to screw the other. So I don't know. You know, it's not the U.S. alone. The U.S. is throwing tariffs because they have tariffs as well being thrown at them. So you know what? You can't abuse one. Can't abuse the other. They should actually get to a table and go, how are we going to just get over these morons in Europe, etc., etc. Because China doesn't really sit around the same fire as Russia these days anymore either. But unfortunately, they are pulling from other countries now, and they should be pulling from the US. And yeah, I wish in a perfect world, in my small mind, that they could work together and accept the fact that they are very, very different, and not try and shove each other over. But yes, I suppose there's a different way you could work it out. Yeah, thank goodness, Chris. Yes. Chris summarizes everything for us. There we go, Debbie. Let's pop it up there. Thank goodness Chris summarizes everything for us. Because, yeah, if not, I don't know where I'd be, because between Renaldo and Chris is the only way. You know, you can't spread your cards too thick, first of all. You can't go around looking for 500 different news channels, because you will get, I do see a lot of different ones. I actually watch the extreme negative on China, and I watch the extreme positive on China as well. And you know, I can see one is trying to cream it and the other's trying to tank it. I mean, I looked at, I was watching a thing. There's another guy who's pretty decent and pretty fair. He actually covered, and I might actually cover it next week for you as well, where two French journalists came they actually were told to take down the TV show that they were working for, documentary that they were supposed to have been made, and they were working for in France. They came into China and they couldn't speak Chinese properly. They had a little bit of knowledge. And then there's this other guy, a German guy, that actually has it in for anything Chinese. And they went to a factory and she pretended to need the toilet. And she went into the factory. They let her in. And so she went in with a hidden camera and found a 12-year-old little girl who said, what are you doing here? No, I'm waiting for my mom, because in the summer there's no one to look after me at home. So I wait for my mom. I come here from school and then my mom takes me home when she's finished. And so she got her to sit down at a sewing machine and everything to that effect. And then they filmed her there and went, child labor. And the only thing is they actually put the subtitles of like, I work here or something to that effect. But they didn't take the sound away, so that people who understood Mandarin could actually hear her saying, I'm waiting for my mom. I've just come from school. She'll be finished, and there's no one that I can go home to in the summer holidays because there's no one at home. So, the people heard it and went, hang on, you know what? There's something wrong. What you're saying is happening, and what she's saying is two different things. And there was another thing about cotton, but we'll talk about it next week, and I will we'll put it there as well. So, yeah, Cameron, I shouldn't say what I think will get charged with hate speech in RSA as in New Zealand does with Facebook. I'm not too sure. I'm not following the chat at the moment. Sorry, guys. Peeps, what's wrong with these people? Yeah. But yeah, so there's good and bad. As I say, I see the extreme and I see the extreme. I found one that's a middle. And when I actually want to find news about South Africa and what is happening and the actual news, the proper stuff and the proper, what I enjoy is just the proper opinion and feedback and the dig down into it. I mean, if you take a look, that book that I've got, Our Poisoned Land, it just breaks things so badly open. It's just not funny. I can't believe it at times. But I'll get back to it again sometime. We'll talk books again sometime, because I've got another video that I actually want to put in there for us to take a look at. Yeah, I'm covering the gripes and the moans this week as well. So, I mean, shit sells, so I got to put some shit on here. I mean, I can't be telling you nice things all the time. You're too good people for that. Oh, by the way, Debbie, I'd like to welcome Colin to the EV Club. Not Electric Vehicle Club, to the Echco Vaping Club. Tell him we're welcoming Colin to the Echco Vaping Club. Very well done indeed. World has gone wild. You want to see how wild this world has gone? Let's take a look. Yeah, we'll go further. So let's introduce Snow White. And there's a very nice guy. What's his name? I'll actually get it. I did put his little thing up there, and I'm going to put the link up there because I've taken the clips out of his video. Yeah, Echco Vaping Club is a proud member. I should actually have little badges for those who vape. Echco Vaping Club. There we go. Echco Vape. This isn't Peace Out anymore. This is Echco Vaping Club. I'm coup d'etat-ing it from Renaldo. This is not Peace Out anymore. This is Echco Vaping Club. Or Echco Vaping Club. There we go. So it's not the Peace Out side. Cameron, it's like common sense has left the building. Yeah, no, Elvis left it long ago and common sense followed. But yeah, you've heard, I'm sure we've all heard, and I mean, you've heard me rattling off about Snow White, the remake of Snow White, and you're going to hear what I'm rattling off about it, because I've picked a couple of things from this video, which I quite like. But Disney's remaking Snow White as a live action movie, and Rachel Zegler is a Latino actress, has been cast as Snow White. Now, I'm sorry. You know what? As beautiful as what she is, Snow White is Snow White. And the remake is facing heavy controversy and backlash in more than just having a different colored or darker colored person being put in there. And it's different. They've tried to differ totally from the the 1937 animated film, which made Disney. It's probably one of the most loved and biggest Disney films ever. Is the 1937 Snow White? Disney is looking at race swapping with everything, and you cannot race swap. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. You know, you can't. I mean, this new Captain America is also a load of bull, because it's now blacked in America. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for everybody in the world, including this guy whose video I've actually used as well. So all credit to him. He put a really, really good video together. I took some news and stories from it, and I just clipped it as well. I'll put the full one at the bottom as well. Never eat yellow snow. Go Cam. Where are we eating tonight? Okay. But you will actually see this, and you can actually give me your thoughts on it as well. It's hello Fiona, good to see you. You've missed James Bond, Fiona, but you'll have to watch it over to actually get there. Fantastic to see you again. How are you keeping, man? It is wonderful to see you again. But yeah, I'm busy stirring the pot, causing shit today, Fiona, so I don't know. So let's go further. Let's take a look. So you can't race swap and then altering the love story, because now Zellweger is as woke as the oak next to her, and now they're trying to figure out, no, this isn't how it's supposed to be. You know, you can't have Prince falling in love and being the hero and picking up the damsel in distress. And that is what Snow White is about. It is the love story. But no, it's now to grow to be the leader that she was. Oh, fair leader. Snow White, okay? What do you think about the updating classic stories? Because I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it as well. Apart from the fact that they now cast Zegler with Gal Gadot as the evil stepmom, the biggest problem there is Gadot is more beautiful than Zegler. Bottom line. I mean, wow, who didn't know that? But now you've got a hot stepmother in Snow White, and she looks at the mirror and goes, who's the fairest of them all? And every guy in the world is going, Gadot, or Gadot, whatever. And she's going, Snow White. What a load of shit. But anyway, so yes, there. Then they decided, okay, away with dwarves, you know. What we'll do is we will have 7 diverse people instead of dwarves. You'll check them out there now. And so, yeah, 1 dwarf and a whole lot of like DEI people. And then everyone went, what bullshit is this? So they said, okay, well, we can use dwarves then. And then Peter Dinklage, a dwarf himself, who has won, I think, an Emmy or a Grammy or whatever for his role in Game of Thrones, he says, what bullshit is this that they are now exposing the dwarves? And, that is offensive. You'll see the part there as well. And so, no, we're not going to have diverse people. We're not going to have dwarves. We'll CGI the shit in, which looks even worse now, with an absolute crap story. Zegler has been shooting her mouth off. First of all, she contradicts herself into the blue heavens. She has been shooting her mouth off and actually landing Snow White even deeper and deeper into the trenches that they didn't even have her. She was supposed to do a musical and an appearance at I think it's the British premiere. No ways. I think there was about 4 people that ended up at the British premiere, and Zegler was taken away from there. All the press, Disney is trying to cover their asses by covering this woman's mouth, because everything that comes out of there is just dissing Snow White. Absolutely. Cameron, what's it? As long as Prince Charming isn't BBBEE. Well, it doesn't matter, because he's not getting near Snow White this time. POC, people of color. So, right, let's take a look. See, the 7 dwarves dilemma. There's a disappointment. You'll actually hear dwarves actors in this video going, what the fuck? You know what? Why don't we get these positions? Why are they putting cartoons in there when it should be us? But they are disappointment over lost job opportunities. They call for authentic representation. There's a debate over inclusion that the dwarves actually want, and stereotyping that another successful dwarf doesn't want. So, you're not going to get the opportunity to play the part of a dwarf in a movie because you are a dwarf. Dwarf. Yeah, but do you think Disney made the right choice? I don't know. Let's swing this quickly over to the other side. But yeah, the original plan was to have a diverse cast of different heighted people and everything. You'll see that as well. I did put it on the little thumbnail. But then criticism from Peter Dinklage threw out dwarves, and then they just put CGI in. Apparently, that looks pretty shit. And I think they have never, I think, cracked. No YouTube trailer has ever cracked. I don't know how many million downvotes on the trailer. They put the movie off for release. They called it because of the writer's strike, but they've put it off for a year. It's now being released, and Disney's just holding their freaking breaths. History has proved that if you keep your movie true to the tale and true to the person, you will be successful. And you'll see it because they'll show you about Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was a hit cracker, made one of the highest grossing movies in their opening week in cinema history. Obviously, I think after their release, there has been more that's bigger, so it stands corrected there. But the bottom line is they tried to race change in The Little Mermaid. Fortunately, Halle Berry or whatever, she didn't badmouth the movie, so it didn't go too badly, but it still tanked because they race changed. It just didn't form. You know what? You can't take a character. It's like, did you see Annie? Annie is now like the Annie. You don't get it done like that anymore. It's really, yeah. But there's people that have brought their children up in this day and age, appreciating that kind of thing. 1937, I grew up on that Snow White, the Aristocats, things like that, and that was good stuff. That's good, wholesome stuff. You don't mess with a perfect mix. You can make a beautiful live action of it if the actress is busy, actually not too busy dissing it in the process. Nate the Lawyer, this is actually, you can go to his YouTube channel. When this is finished, I will be putting a link in there as well. It's his video, and he's, as you can see on the cartoon there, not black. Not white, sorry, Nate. And so I must give him credit. Obviously, he's also got clips from wherever, and I've done a huge amount of cutting. Not hugely. It was only about 20 minutes, but I still cut it down to 5 minutes now. But take a listen, because what I want to actually bring across is, and we'll talk about this afterwards, how does this affect society, life, children, perception these days? Disney, the most loved creation of children's fantasies and children's imagination, is absolutely trashing it with wokeness. Let's take a look. See, yeah, I'm not going to talk through this so that it can go through, and we'll talk about it afterwards if you like.
Now, Beauty and the Beast was nowhere as popular as Snow White. So a Snow White live-action remake just followed the formula, made sense. Woke world. So one of the new rules in our woke world is that if a character is traditionally a black character, that character must be played by another black person. You can't switch that character out for a white person. You can't put a Latina in there. It has to be played by a black person. Now, conversely, if the character was traditionally white, you can race swap them all you want. So Snow White, who happened to be a white woman, you can swap her out for a black woman, or you can swap her out for a Latina woman. You can't do it in reverse. It can only be
So
from
true.
white
And this is
to
a black
something
guy
else.
talking.
Now, Disney has implemented this before. The Little Mermaid, for instance, was race swapped from a white woman to a black woman. Now, unfortunately, the Little Mermaid race swap didn't work, and it tanked at the box office.
I'm a really big Disney fan. I grew up at
Now
the
listen
Disney
to her
parks. My parents took me every summer.
contradicts.
It's part of my upbringing. It's my favorite thing. So
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Never revisited.
She's
Snow White.
so
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big
snotty,
focus
spoiled
on her
little kid.
love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. She's not going to be safe with a prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Disney's decision to remake
I
the
just
19...
ask you with tears in my eyes, what a snotty little kid that is. First of all, she contradicts herself. Then she can't help trashing Snow White to pieces. She says the prince is a stalker. I mean, that's weird. Not her little weird, which is, she has absolutely brought Disney into terrible disrepute in the process, because that's just a few of her, or one of her little pieces of crap that she's brought out. And then she says it's going to not tell the love story, it's going to see how she becomes an independent leader of herself. You know, I didn't realize that this was the Trump story or the Putin story or whoever, Napoleon story or whatever. It's freaking Snow White. It's a imaginative love story cartoon. But yeah, let's take a look at the dwarves now.
30s classic Snow White is coming under fire. Actor Peter Dinklage, known for his Emmy-winning role on Game of Thrones, calls it a backward step for little people on Mark Maron's podcast.
You're still making that backward story of 7 dwarves.
How's it, CB1?
Living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
So Disney made the decision to not go with 7 dwarfs or 7 little people to play those dwarfs. It decided to get rid of the dwarfs altogether and just have 7 racially mixed people of different heights, colors, and creeds walk.
Crap, sorry, now I've messed up. I was trying to pause. This is Peter Dinklage. We'll do it again.
Backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing?
That's pretty condescending for a dwarf whose success has been made on screen, but he doesn't want to allow his counterparts to. It sounds like the ANC.
Man.
So Disney made the decision to not go with 7 dwarfs or 7 little people to play those dwarfs. It decided to get rid of the dwarfs altogether and just have 7 racially mixed people of different heights, colors, and creeds walk around the farm.
Okay, how's those different people? So now they suddenly decided to actually throw the baby with the bathwater. Because how's that for absolute, that is wokeness personified. This, instead of 7 dwarves, you've got these people following you. That's stalking, with 1 dwarf in there. But of course, that sparked real outrage from anyone who thought of Snow White. So,
Snow White.
Sadly, those members of the dwarfism community have not been cast in a film about dwarfs because they're dwarfs.
The DEI forces have descended on the 7 dwarfs around Snow White in Disney's latest offering. Now there's only 1 dwarf and like a bunch of DEI
twats, a bunch of twats
behind the 1 dwarf because they don't want to offend little people, so they had to eliminate their jobs.
There we go.
Disney is pushing back the release of its Snow White live-action movie until 2025, a move that conservatives attribute to the movie's giant attempts to be woke. Conservative critics pointed out Disney's rendition initially cast diverse men and women instead of dwarves to play the entourage of Snow White, but since scrapped that idea in favor of CGI dwarves. Now, the studio says Disney's Snow White has been delayed a whole year because of the SAG-AFTRA strike, which forced studios to reshuffle their release schedule.
About the new Snow White live film that's coming out.
Listen to the dwarves.
Getting a lot of backlash, Can I ask you what you think about that?
Oh, well, this is a movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's a movie that is supposed to have real dwarfs, and instead Disney chose to use CGI to replace actors and actresses that are little people that are very talented.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. You look up the original Snow White. The dwarves are the stars of the movie.
A lot of people are saying they're going to hate watch the film. They're going to watch it just so they can hate on it. Do you think that people should still go see the film? Or do you think
everyone should go see the film, but it's about equality.
All little people, dude. There's a lot of little people out there that are freaking, are actors and actresses that love to have parts in, this kind of movie, and and everyone's trying to get their dreams come true, and it just seems like we're getting our dreams shut out, by Disney and Hollywood in the industry.
Disney had the great opportunity to cast people very talented actresses like ourselves.
Yeah, but we've been in the entertainment game for 20 years.
That's 7 roles right there. Yeah. 7 little people that could have filled those roles, and unfortunately, we were shut out.
7 roles out, 7 people out of job.
What's up? Damn.
Okay, that's as far as where it went there. So, yeah, what I'm saying is, let me try and get out from behind the picture. The people who are dwarfs are saying, you are freezing us out. You are shutting us out. You are taking away our opportunities. You are, she says it beautifully. She says, that's 7 jobs, that's 7 opportunities wasted, taken away. I mean, they are dwarfs. They know it in life. It's happened. You know what? They do the best with what they have. If they can get an acting career as a dwarf, it's a professional acting career. It's not like in the circus where a dwarf is being thrown around or shot out of a cannon. They are doing proper acting. And what better than to actually get live actors to do it? And that's why they're saying, you know what? You're taking our roles away. We're being shut out. You're not giving us an opportunity. You're being biased towards us. Where Peter Dinklage says, no, well, it's degrading to a dwarf. I mean, if somebody wanted a fat man in a show, I'd be the first to put my hand up. Why? Because inevitably that is I. I don't care if you don't like it. If you're going to pay me for a show to do it, why not? I mean, it's not degrading to me to do it unless I'm actually playing an idiot or something to that effect. But yeah, there you hear it from the mouths of the people who are actors, who are needing jobs. I mean, so if you take a look, if Disney, who shaped the minds and the fantasies of children, who entertained families, children young and old, grands and grandpas and moms and dads and children all went to see and have lived through songs, dance, and the story of Snow White, which is an absolute beautiful little love story. And it has been appreciated by young and old through the ages. Now you get some spoilt brat gets the lead role, trashes it, and Andre, I think you stepped on what? YouTube's toes. Oh, did it go away or something? You still got me. I don't see anything at the moment, but yeah, I'm giving credit to Nate. That's why his little sticker is up there, and his link to his channel and the link to this video will be in the what's her name. But yeah, I suppose I'm stepping on their toes because I'm telling them how bloody woke they are. Yeah, so all I'm saying is, how does it affect the new way of looking at things? Disney's absolute warped perception of delivering entertainment, which we look at for our children, for Marvel, for cartoons and animation and beautiful, innocent escape from reality stories. I mean, with reality being as hectic as what it is, I I mean, you take a look today. Today's kids, from going into primary or kindergarten to high school, are under far higher pressure than what we are. For them to actually have their innocence or their joy stripped away and have wokeness shoved down their throats like this, I think it's really, really bad. I mean, there's a handful of people, if you look at the world, that actually feels this way, that feels that they, you know what, they're almost acting like the ANC. They feel that they are owed something. They have this little right. I don't mind. You gay. As long as you're happy and gay, that's not a problem to me. What a problem to me is if you're wanting somebody to actually make a movie with all kinds of funny, diverse, pronoun people, because it is in your interest to shove your narrative down the world's throat. And I actually did a thing with my class this week about how to have a conversation. And I have a word for you. It's called pontificate. Look it up. No, I'm kidding. Pontificate. Pontificate is basically when you are in conversation, is because she actually says the biggest problem these days is we are so polarized in this world, divided. Do not pontificate in conversation, which means that you do not arrogantly shove down your narrative without any form of respect or wanting to budge or consider any form of compromise with anyone. And she says it straight. It's somebody Heedley, whatever. She's got her own YouTube channel, apparently. I haven't looked at it. And she's done TV interviews and that. And she says, you know what, I've interviewed people that I agree with. And I've interviewed people which I don't agree with. And I've interviewed people which I deeply disagree with. But what's lag? Cameron, left analytical group. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I understand what you're saying. I hope it's not my side, because I also have had some internet things. Sorry, and maybe it's the choopy. But yeah. So, you know, by all means, express opinions and you're allowed to have your feeling, but to actually have a child's movie or the entertainment industry, which should have just the neutral happiness of life. I mean, put down into, I mean, where she's now stating, oh, this prince is a stalker. Good grief. Does she know what a stalker is? She's a spoiled little brat. And Disney is running around trying to cover their asses left, right, and center because she is sinking them faster than what, I mean, you thought the film blew out. She just blew a few more holes into the deck there in the process. And you can see the people, but you can see Hollywood's opinionated, entitled rich. Dinklage, a dwarf himself, will take away the opportunities of colleagues like these actors who said, hey, give us a chance. Give us a go. My screen's frozen. It is rather chilly, yeah. So, yeah, so today we're doing a little bit of expression and pull out. So we pulled out Downunder and we've pulled out Woke Snow White. But let's talk about something just to finish off these last few minutes. And you can give me your best shot on this one, because this is really good. There is nothing more South African than boerewors and braai, rugby and braaivleis. And overseas and in Europe or in the UK and that, it usually starts an Irishman, an Englishman, and a Welshman walked into a bar. But when you come to South Africa, it starts with Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe is South Africa's very own Chuck Norris. It is only us. Brandy and Coke. There we go, Dylan. Brandy and Coke. So Van der Merwe is as South African as what you can get. And here's one that says, happy birthday. Hello, is this the SAP, South African Police? Yes, what you want? I'm calling to report my neighbor, Fani van der Merwe, is hiding dacha, marijuana, inside his firewood. Yes. Thank you for your cooperation and information and combating crime and violence in our society, sir. The next day, the SAP descend on Fani's house. They search the Braai Lapa barbecue where the firewood is kept. Using axes, they chop open every piece of wood but find no dagga. They shout and swear at Fani and leave. Hey, Fani, did the SAP come? Yeah. Did they chop your firewood? Yeah. Happy birthday, Boot. This one's for you, Cameron. Happy birthday, Boot. So, yeah. The next one, committing suicide. Skulk burst into Van's room. Let me, sorry, I should make this a little bit bigger for you. Hey, Skulk burst into Van's room, standing on a chair with rope around his waist and at the end of the rope around the ceiling. Hey, Van, what do you think you're doing? Said Skulk. I'm committing suicide, replied Van. Well, you're going it all wrong, Skulk. You're supposed to tie the rope around your neck, not your waist. Man, I tried that yesterday and I nearly choked. What's your best Van drug? Van der Merwe, there is nothing more South African than Van der Merwe. And if there's nothing more healing in South Africa, it's South African humor that still holds the country together. There's nothing that brings South Africa together than braaivleis, boerewors, rugby, where's Dylan rum and brandy and coke, and Van der Merwe. Is it next Sunday, Cam? Sorry, I'm busy giving you an early birthday one there. So, yeah. So, guys, it's just, you know what, we tend to forget what is ours, and we take on the rest of the world. Van der Merwe is ours. It is South Africa. It's as good as the cousin. It's as good as Renaldo. And Chris, we'll give you a honorary you are ours as well. That's right, Cameron. We laugh through the tears. We laugh through the tears. They say kindness is free. But hell, have you ever tried to pay the price of petrol these days? Absolutely ridiculous. Eskom said they're phasing out load shedding in the next year or so. Looks like they're trying to phase out electricity, never mind load shedding, but yeah. The Irish jokes. Irish jokes. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Oh, Maggie, I'm afraid Paddy's gone. But he's always worked at the brewery. What's wrong? What happened? Oh, Maggie, he fell into a vat of whiskey. But what happened? Did he die quick at least? Oh, no, Maggie, I'm afraid he got out 5 times to pee before he went. And then we'll leave you with the last one of the Scotsman. And the Irishman, or should we say, let's make him Irish in a kilt. And he's walking through, let's see, a fair or a fight, or I don't know. I think they have fairs in the UK. He's walking around, and a little girl comes up to the dude with the kilt on, and she says, "Oh, sir, what you wear under your kilt?" He says, "Lass, you'll have to take a feel for yourself." So she sticks her hand under the kilt, and she looks at the man. She says, "Oh, gruesome, hey?" He says, "Lass, you keep your hand there, it'll grow some more." So, yeah, we'll leave it at that one as well. You still load shedding. Irish is the way to go. Let's get you going back to happy St. Paddy's Day. I hope you all have a great amount of green beer. So we have Andre shedding here. I hope you enjoyed the shit show for today. Tell me if it was a little offending to you or if it was just not what you were looking for. Feel free to join the EV club. Or the EV cult, sorry. Echo Vapors. Or else you can join the Van der Merwe pipe smokers, whatever. But yeah, enjoy. Take care. Look after yourselves. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink too much whiskey and don't pee so much. If you keep on falling into the vat, you're not going to get out one day. Hey? Fiona, great to see you. Dylan, Debbie, Nick, everybody else, Cam, Buzzy. I hope you have an absolutely awesome, splendid week. It's been an absolute privilege and an honor to actually join you guys today again and actually just moan my brains out for a change. Unfortunately, shit sells, so maybe I will sell a little bit more, or maybe YouTube will tune me a bit because I have given them a little bit more shit. But from my side, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Take care, look after yourselves, be good, and if you can't be good, always remember, be kind. Cheers.